So for this week's journal assignment, I asked you two questions. The first one is, can you give me an example of nonverbal communication being used in your everyday life? So my example for this, as most of you know, my full-time job is being an advising services coordinator for the Seidel School of Education. So I advise all the freshman education students. And with advising, it's a lot of asking questions and getting to know someone. And truthfully, we try to get to know someone quickly so we can be more beneficial over our time as being a student's advisor. So some of the questions I'll ask when I first meet a student is, how are things going in your classes? And typically, I'll get like a one-word answer, like great, and then try to move on. So really asking those open-ended questions, like tell me a little bit about your Bio 101 class. How are things going? Where do you think your grade's at? And sometimes I will have students who will tell me everything's great, everything's fine, but their body language is telling me otherwise. They're either, twirling their hair, looking really nervous, or even things as like saying something, but I can kind of tell they're masking what they really feel. And it's really important for me to be able to catch those so I can make sure that I'm giving my students the best support that I can. So that's kind of an example of how I use it in my everyday. The second part of your journal is I want you to tell me where you've been, what you've been doing, and what you are reading, writing, creating. That question is a little more open-ended depending on where your area of study is and what your hobbies are. And the reason I wanted to start asking this question, and I'm going to share it a little bit every week, is as I said, I'm a doctoral student, so I take online classes for that. And one of my favorite professors, she asks these questions every single lecture. And I think it's really great because we are, we're fully online. So I never get to see you face to face. And I think it's really important to me that I can also build relationships with everyone. But that can be very hard to do in just an online environment. And over the summer, with this professor that I worked with doing this, it really made connections grow. I want to be able to learn more about you, and I want you to learn more about me, in case we do have similar interests, because I would love to be able to mentor you and help you out if our interest fields overlap. So I'll start where I've been recently, and we're going to talk about recently. If I ask you this question every week, I don't want to get the same answer. So I'll be honest, the where I've been question's kind of hard with COVID. I'm actually quarantining still. I have chronic Lyme disease and I've had it for 6 years. So basically my immune system is pretty weak. I have to, every couple years, I just actually finished an antibiotic cycle over the summer. And so it can really deplete your immune system. So of course with COVID, it's been very important for me to just stay at home, kind of stay away from people, which is part of the reason why I am teaching online this semester. So the where I've been question really I haven't been anywhere, but what I've been doing. So this last week, I have been doing a lot of schoolwork. We started 2 weeks before SU started, so this is my third week of school, so I've been a little busier. I'm also challenging myself for the month of September to do a no spend month. So that means in order to save money, I'm not spending money on fun stuff like shopping, eating out, getting my coffee out, all of that stuff. So far I'm recording this and it's September 8th. So I've gone 8 days following through pretty much. It's been a little difficult. I do miss my coffees and I miss eating out, but that's more of what I've been doing this week, keeping myself busy. And next part is what I've been reading, writing, creating. So obviously as a doctoral candidate, I'm reading a lot. I really do enjoy reading, and I think no matter what your major is, what your background is in, reading is a great way to kind of learn more about it. So right now I am reading, I don't know where my book is. It's called The Leadership Self, it's a leadership book on self-deception, and it's by the Arbinger Institute, and it's a really cool story basically about how in situations we tend to put ourselves in a metaphorical box towards people, and it really inhibits us in being the best leader we can be. So that's actually one book. I'm actually reading it for class, but it's really kind of helped me in my personal life as well. And my second book is Why Leaders Eat Last. And that one I'm reading more for fun. And it's focused on servant leadership, which is the idea that good leaders lead because they want to help people from like an internal point of view. So that's really but what I've been reading this week, just to kind of keep me, I always want to kind of be the best in my field, as everyone does. So I try to read as much as I can with new literature. So I look forward to hearing what you are doing, going, seeing, and reading or writing. So I hope this video finds you well, and I'll talk to you soon.